Hello, beautiful people. It's Tea and Tarot time with Julie. Just popping in with a little bonus reading about this full moon that we have on the 29th of July. It is in Aquarius. It's conjunct with Pluto. I am not an astrologer. I've had to look this stuff up, but I felt drawn to do a reading for you about this full moon that is not timeless. This is like, what do we need to know right now about this full moon? So grab yourself a cuppa. It's Tea and Tarot time with Julie. Put me on pause, put the kettle on, put your feet up, get yourself comfy. Well, put the kettle on, get your cup of tea, then put your feet up and get yourself comfy. Let's have a little look what this is about. Okay, so according to the internet and my little bit of research, why is this full moon a doozy? Like what's it different to any other full moon? Full moons are generally about release. What are we letting go of? And we're coming into eclipse season in August. What are we letting go of? So, okay, what are we eclipsing out? Well, this particular full moon, which is called a buck moon, okay, now it's the importance is because it's in conjunction with Pluto and Aquarius, and it's like, exact, what's that mean? It's a focus on releasing versus manifesting, and because it's in Aquarius, it's about us reevaluating friendships, communities, breaking free from people pleasing or seeking external approval. I know. And stepping into genuinely kind of individuality. What is it that's about me without fear of judgment? So basically, this full moon is about clear the space first, emphasize that we don't want to manifest on top of old kind of old clutter. What do we need to clear out so that we free ourselves to be able to create what we want to create? Does that make sense? Okay, so anything else about this particular moon I want to tell you about? Right, so the Pluto effect. Right, what's Pluto got to do with it? Right, so Pluto is the planet of rebirth, shadow work, radical transformation. Sounded right Welsh then, didn't I? I am Welsh actually, okay, for those of you who didn't know. Radical transformation. So this full moon being conjunct Pluto is like Pluto is putting the emphasis. The moon is like, what do we need to release? And Pluto comes going, what do you need to radically transform? You know, sometimes it's about being subtle. Other times it's like take a sledgehammer to it and just bash it open. And that's kind of the energy because of Pluto. And because it's in Aquarius, which is like freedom and expression and all the good stuff that Aquarius is, that we also get this clarity. Sometimes we get too close. You can't see the wood for the trees, can't see the wood for the forest. We're too close. And so what we're doing is we're kind of zooming out so we get the bigger picture view. Does that make sense? Okay, so let me get rid of that and come down here and let's have a look then. What are we getting rid of? What are we becoming aware of? What needs to be, let me just get this to focus. Thank you. What do we need to focus on that we're transforming? I just want 6 cards here. All right. We got the 4 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Coins. Tell me more for the collective. The 5 of Swords, the Lovers, and the 7 of Swords. All right, let's have a look at these. What is going on? What is this all about? Right. So we're starting with the 4 and the 5 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords is, of course, about rest, recharge, reboot, healing, recovering. Right, let's just stay with that for a little minute. And I feel that this is recovering from that 5 of Swords. Have you found over this Mercury retrograde through July that a lot of challenges have come up? People questioning you, poking, prodding, poking at wounds, I'm getting stimulating as well. It's stimulating the old to come up to go, wow, I didn't know that that still bothered me, but clearly it does. Has there been discourse and arguments and kind of, I feel attack, but attack in a very subtle way, almost gaslighting, kind of subtle. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, well, I didn't say anything that offensive. No, but it was a little snide, little sneaky, little dig that, do you know what? That's not okay. I'm taking a step back from that. I feel that actually all of us have been going through this massive transformation since Uranus, depending where you are now, you pronounce it, came into Gemini in early May, because that opens up, and it's there for years, decades, I think about 7 years or something, right? But it is all about shining a light on awareness of things that we didn't see before, didn't notice before. They were there, but we didn't know about it. Now we know, we can't unknow. Now we see, we can't unsee. And so we've been going through this sort of transformation of awareness since May. So we've had May, June, and July, 3 months of it. And that retrograde energy, and it wasn't an easy Mercury retrograde, was it? I don't know whether that was just me because I'm double Mercury, but I found it quite challenging, that one, all right? And lots of stuff from the past coming up. It's like, really? I thought this was done. Why are we having this conversation about something that happened 2 or 3 decades ago again? That's what's been going on for a lot of people, including me. So I want to take a step away from that now. This Four of Swords is like, is it time to just look at this Five of Swords of where's the conflict, if it's internal or external? Where's the pressure? Where's the heaviness? Have I finished now? Is it done? All right. So is it done? Right. Have I finished? Is it done? Can you please explain? It's all right. I'm taking the words from my spiritual team, my higher self. Is it done? Have we had enough of the arguments, or we're going to keep arguing? Is that what's going to be released now, where you just shut it down and say, do you know what? If all we're going to do is a bitch and snipe, I'm out. All right. And so maybe that is what you're letting go of, is like, I'm just not putting up with this crap anymore. I'm out. I don't want this friendship, or I'm going to avoid these people from now on. That might be the story for you. Equally, this could be that all sorts has been resolved during this period, and you can now let go of the arguments are done. We finished. We found a happy resolution. Now we can move forward in harmony. We'll clarify these in a minute. Either way, this full moon is saying it's time to take a step back, to just rest, recover, a retreat from the conflict. Just let it come up and out. If you've had your feelings hurt, if you've had your nose put out of joint, if you've been feeling just like, what is going on? Take a step back, rest, recharge, reboot, and look after you. Now, alongside that, we've got some decisions to be made about moving forward. So we're going to use this full moon. Now, the full moon's on the 29th. However, we feel this energy for days before and days afterwards. It kind of builds up to the full moon, and then it sort of gradually tapers. I don't know about you, but personally, I feel a full moon for about 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. So a week. And I'm recording this on the 27th, so we're already in this energy of the full moon. What's coming up for it to be cleared? So one of the things that's coming up for you is to look at where you are exhausted, overpressured, overburdened, on your knees. This is too hard. This is too much. This is ridiculous. This needs to change. Right, so I'm going to make a decision to change it and release it and transform it with Pluto and this full moon. Deep, significant transformation with Pluto. The lovers can be talking about your romantic relationships need transforming. They're too heavy, they're too hard, they're not working, it needs to change. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to end and you're heading towards the divorce courts, but it can mean we need to talk and we need to look at the way that this relationship works, because frankly, it's too heavy for me and I can't carry this burden. It may be that only one of you is working and you're drowning, and it's like I need both of us to be able to contribute to this. Or maybe it's the actual relationship itself, whatever it is for you. Maybe nothing to do with a relationship and just generally about life, because the 10 of wands is I'm carrying too much. I'm just carrying too much. Now, whatever the it is for you of too much might be health being really poor, too much responsibilities, too many commitments, um, too much burden, too much financial pressure, whatever it is for you, too many clients, too many hours at your job. It's time to make a decision. Are we going to transform that? Because anything can be transformed, but it does mean that we have to be willing. There's the rub, being willing to make the changes. For example, let's say you've got a beautiful home with a very big mortgage and you're having to work stupid hours to be able to afford it. And it's killing you. This 10 of wands is like, I'm on my knees. Maybe it's better to sell the house and go and buy something cheaper and release that pressure. Um, and you'd be like, yeah, but I can't give up my home. Well, okay, then that's the choice that you're making, that home is worth it for you. I was talking to a friend a couple of weeks ago about somebody they know that literally tripled their mortgage and added on an extra 15 years to the length of the mortgage. And so it's saying, right, he said to them, like, is it worth it? You were going to retire at 55. Now you've got to carry on working till 70 because your mortgage goes on for so long. And the upshot was no house is worth that. But it's an individual choice. And the lover says, it's my choice to make. Nobody's going to make me do this. I can carry on carrying this for now, but do I want to? And this is what you're questioning. Now, the lover says, make the decision from your heart, not your head, your heart. Feel into it. What is heavy and hard for you, my beautiful collective? What do you need to release and let go of? Because what you're wanting to do when we look at these two is to bring some kind of balance into your world and life. And that's going to need a plan. Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords, generally people jump on and say lies, deceit, deception, somebody's cheating. And it can be that. It can be. And it's thrown the balance all off. And because we've got the lovers here with the Five of Swords, this might be the story for some of you, that what's come to light over the last little while, whether it's the last few weeks or the last 3 months, has been to discover, lies and deception within your relationship. And that's what's caused the arguments with the Five of Swords and the conflict. And it may be that you're ready to put it behind you, forgive and forget and move on. And that's fine. But we want to get the balance, and we want to be able to move into a world and life that works for us. So this full moon conjunct Pluto is really saying this is the time for deep transformation before we move into next week, where we're in the Lionsgate energy, which is the most powerful time of the year for manifesting. We can always manifest, but there are certain times of the year where it's particularly strong. Let's clear out what is in the way, what's holding us back, pushing us down. This full moon is doing that. So what do we need to clear? So let's look at this balance. This Two of Coins is a card of, I really need to get my balance, whether that's financially, energetically, whether it is emotionally, all right? Even though it's coins, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be about money. This can be your energy. This can be our emotions are all over the place, and that's thrown off our ability to be able to work in the first place. What's going on here? Because the balance is off. So let's look at these together, and then we're going to clarify. I'm going to pull some more cards, all right? So when we look here, we've got the 5, 4, 5, and 7 of swords, right? So we're very much in our head. We've been thinking, we've been looking at it logically. What's the plan? What do I need? I need to step back from the conflict, from the round and around in my head, because this can be very Mercury retrograde. There's 5 of swords, overthinking, going down the rabbit hole, revisiting stuff over and over and over. It's like, no, step away, step back. You're carrying too much here. Hard and heavy, needs to be released. I need to make a decision. I want balance back in my world and life, and I'm going to come up with a plan. And if there has been deceit and deception around relationships, not just romantic, it might be family, then this is the time that we want to get our balance. So let's find out some more. I won't use that deck. I want to use a different deck in case the same cards want to come out. Okay, so I'm using, that was the Tarot Royale. This is the Light Seers Tarot. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Wands flipping over with the King of Swords. Right, okay. Oh, the same pause. All right, let's just discuss these two then. So on that 4 of Swords, the step away from the conflict, 5 of Swords, rest and recover. If you've been going through, you know, all of this old stuff that's coming up, you need to just sleep and rest and let it go. Come back into your power. We've got the King and the Queen here, different suits, but the royals are powerful people, right? So the Queen of Wands, dynamic, determined, go-getting, assertive, knows her worth, knows her light, knows her power. Look at her looking at her hand there with the fire coming out of her hand. I can do anything, I'm magic. She has this absolute self-belief, really around her worth and her value. Don't worry about the genders. This is about, do I know my worth? Am I treating myself like I am worthy, or am I sinking under the pressure and conflict and frankly there's shit hit in the fan and I'm sick to death of it and I need to step away and I need to rebalance and come back into my light and into my power? That's what you're doing. Now the King of Swords with it is about the clarity to do it. No more confusion, no more that it's so close to your face you can't see anything, there's no focus. I need to zoom out and I need to look at the bigger picture. So the King of Swords energy is going to help you to do that. Now, this might be an expert outside of you, somebody who's helping you, supporting you, advising you, or this might be you. I just need to zone out and zoom out so I can see the bigger picture. How am I living my life? How is it working? What's working? What's not? How are my relationships? How's my relationship with myself? How's my health and energy? Do those dreams that I set for myself still work for me? Because I've changed. So what I wanted before, I might not want now. You're looking at it all, but you're looking at it from a place of power. So we're going to use this full moon to be able to really examine from the deepest parts of transformation with Pluto what I need to release. So we know we need to heal. So is there releasing that is needing to be done energetically, emotionally, psychologically? Because when we're in our head and we're stressed, it affects our health. So maybe we need to get out of that overthinking, right? Maybe we've been ill, we've been unwell, and we need a period of recovery. Whatever it is, we've had enough of the conflict. We've had enough of carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Tell me about the 10 of Wands with the Lovers. What is this about for the collective in regards to the full moon, please? Knight of Cups. Taking action on your happiness to create a new beginning. Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we're going to take this and that as well, okay? 2 of Pentacles again with the 5 of Wands. Not everybody's going to like this. Not everybody's going to agree with this. That's what has been happening for some of you. You just seem to have either within your own head, arguing with yourself, stressing out, examining a million different options and just getting confused and overwhelmed and overloaded, or you're coming up with a plan for the future to release the burden, release the pressure, and other people are saying, what are you doing that for? No, you don't want to do that. And they're arguing with you. But you're following what is right for you. Knight of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. You're following your own path. Knights are action cards, okay? So the Knight of Cups is taking action on your happiness. Now, this can be an offer coming your way, and it might be romantic, it might be loving. I mean, he's there on this card holding a bunch of red roses, offering love. And it can be a romantic offer that is leading, with the Ace of Coins, to a beautiful new beginning. Now, that might be from your current partner that you've been arguing with here, and you're finding your way through and releasing, like, oh, that was a tough month, but we're now back on an even keel, having understood and learned a lot. And that absolutely can be happening for some of you. For others of you, you can't staying with the romance for a little minute. And you know me, I don't do love readings, but these are the messages that's coming through. If you have been single a long time and debating whether it's time to date and thinking, oh no, I can't, I know, no, it's too much, and arguing with yourself, the conflict, then it's time to say, look, I'm going to open myself up to the opportunities that are there for love, because potentially with the Ace of Pentacles it could lead to something absolutely amazing, because this is in the center here where we've got the Lovers and the Ten of Wands. So if you've been carrying the weight of the world, doing it all by yourself, and you would love to be in a romantic relationship, in a beautiful partnership, this is the time to use this full moon to say, thank you for helping me to release anything that's holding me back and blocking my way forward to loving again. Use that moon to help you release it. Okay. Now, coming away from the love theme at the moment, the Knight of Cups isn't just about romantic love. It's anything that's going to make you happy, fulfilled, contented. So an opportunity happening, being created, an offer coming your way, or you are making the offer, that is going to lead to something really stable. The Ace of Coins can be a new job. It can be a new relationship. It can be a new home. But whatever it is, it's stable, secure, and lasting. This is what we're wanting. So by releasing that pressure, when we look at what's on the table, then we release that pressure with the full moon, using the Lovers to make a choice, a decision from the heart to bring my world and life into balance. And not everybody will agree with it. And frankly, I don't care. Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. I'm taking action on my happiness to create a new beginning that's stable and solid. But before I step into manifesting it, I want to retreat, rest, recuperate, recover, release, let it all out, create some space so that the new can come in. So we are releasing before we manifest. Okay, tell me about the Two of Coins with the Seven of Swords, please, for the collective. Five of Cups, Ace of Swords. So look, we've got Justice at the bottom with the Emperor. Okay, right. What are we trying to bring into balance with that Two of Coins? We are trying to create the balance that we are seeking emotionally. The Five of Cups is a card of sadness, regrets, tears, upset, emotional wounds, disappointment. Have a good cry, let it out, and then let's move on. Let's not cry over spilt milk. What's done is done. Let's not regret some decisions and judge them to be, that was a stupid decision, that was a bad decision, I should never have got into that. What was I thinking? All of that. No, no, no. Okay. You did the best you could with the tools you had and the information you had at the time. And now if it's not working, okay, let's own it without regrets and beating yourself up, and say, right, okay, so what am I going to do to change it, transform it? That 2 of coins, 7 of swords, may be that with the 5 of cups on it, that there was some cheating, there was some lying or deceiving, that your world has been rocked, and it's okay to be upset and have a good cry, but then we rebuild. So use this full moon to let that out, that sadness out. Use this full moon to release and restore balance, release imbalance, restore balance, because the Ace of Swords is the card of truth and clarity and a clear mind. It is innovation and new beginnings. There's the Aquarius part of that full moon. So I can come up with these amazing thoughts and inspiration and ideas, but only once I've released and cleared all of that foggy, confusing, upsetting, challenging energy, because then I get my balance, I get my justice, I get my equilibrium back. This energy of my world and life is restoring back to balance. The scales are balancing back out. So am I holding heaviness which is tipping me one way? I release it and then I can restore back to balance. And as I do come back into balance, I come back into my power, my full, what was that? What did you say then? Unadulterated power, full, all of it, right? All of your power comes back. He's the Emperor, the most powerful energy in the deck. We think of the King of Wands. Well, I do. The King of Wands is incredibly powerful and determined and dynamic. Well, the Emperor is the equivalent to 4 kings, all of them. So we are absolutely in our power. And the thing is, when we're going through these releases, these realizations, these huge transformations, we can feel vulnerable, we can feel disempowered, we can feel emotionally all over the place, and we can actually feel anything but powerful. But it's part of that release. As we let it up and let it out, then we come back into that balance, the justice, the fairness. It comes back, and the power comes up now, free and unrestricted, right? So they're showing me an image. Let's imagine there's a huge amount of power within you that keeps trying to bubble up, but what's above it is self-doubt and sadness and conflict and fear, and the power can't come up through it. And so by releasing all that crap off the top, then with the full moon, then the power can come up and there's nothing holding it back. That's the image they're giving me. And that's the image I want to leave you with. I want you to imagine your solar plexus, that's your belly, okay, with a huge ball of power, empowerment in there. Courage, confidence, self-belief, self-worth, all the good stuff is in there. But sitting above it, like a dam holding that power back, is all your doubts and fears and wibbles and wobbles and I don't know what's holding me back. Well, I'm going to let it all come up, and it might be like, wow, smack me in the face. And I don't mean that literally, I mean energetically. All right, let it all come up and out, and then the power can come behind it and go, wow, I'm really glad I did that. Okay. All right, let's finish off with a unicorn card. Final message for the collective about this full moon. We have 2. Okay, we have magical crystal cave, and look at this, manifest your dreams. Okay, let's look at these both. For us to be able to manifest, this full moon is saying use this first to clear out the old of what's in the way, then step into manifesting. Okay, so we'll do that one last. Let's look at this one. It's a number 21, which breaks down to a 3. 3s are about growth and joy and expansion. Magical crystal cave, switch on your inner light. Bring forward your gifts. There you go. See, those gifts, including your empowerment and that incredibly clear, focused mind, is kind of behind the fogginess. We've got to clear the fog, and then this gifts can come forward. And that's when you can then step into manifesting your dreams. Number 22, a master number of the builder. Focus on your vision. Seek satisfaction and contentment. 22, the master number of balance, harmony, relationships, building, creating. It is the heart wanting to reach out and connect with people, places, things, joys. This is a powerful, powerful time for manifesting. But before we step into the freedom to manifest, let's clear out the clutter and let's use that full moon to do it. Okay? All right, my beautiful collective, that's what I have for you. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back on Friday with a message for the collective. I've just finished doing all of the individual star sign readings. I started with Cancer because it was Cancer season. So Gemini will be up in the next couple of days, and then I'll start again. Okay. Just to explain, I always start with Aries. I thought I'd do it differently, but there's been so many questions about where's my Taurus reading. Anyway, they'll all be out this week. Okay. And I'll see you on Friday. Lots of love. Bye bye.